Well, good morning, viewers. Today we have a 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee, and it's here for what I believe to be a network problem. It was towed in, but it fortunately drove today. It started and ran. Customer reports that he'll occasionally have, I'm gonna move this seat back. He'll occasionally have a bunch of warning lights come up on the dash. The wipers will go on like crazy, like without being able to control them. Everything is normal now except for the check engine light on. The headlights will come on without request, I believe on low beam. So I'm going to use the Think Tool Pro Plus to do a network scan of this thing. It's got 126,000 kilometers. I wish it was acting up today, but I'm glad it didn't, because I would have had to try to push it in the shop. Yeah, let's get started. So we're going to go into Intelligent Diagnostics. It should auto ID. Come on, you can do it. One of the features that this scan tool has, like many of the newer scan tools, is the topology map. Snap-on doesn't have that yet. So I'm going to do a smart scan. There was a check engine light on, so there's 8 codes in the PCM. Lots of codes. Are we going to have any computers with no codes? Oh yes, the drivetrain control module has no codes. So let's look. I bet you we're going to have a bunch of ugly codes. So in the PCM we have lost communication with BCM, lost communication with brake control, lost brake and torque measures, lost brake switch message, implausible missing transmission message. All these U codes are network codes. TCM, CAN bus code, U1001. Lost communication with steering control. Lost communication, license plate lamp, minor detail, instrument panel, CAN C bus off performance. Well, any module that actually has a code in it was likely still talking. Anti-lock brakes. Wow. SRS. TPMS. So the only module that has no codes, for instance, here is the drivetrain control module. So I wonder if that one didn't set any codes because it was offline or taken down the network. I'm curious as to whether or not it's on the same network. Radio, amplifier. Now that one's driver's door module, doesn't have codes, but that's a different network. Power liftgate module. Okay, let's save this report. Re-repair. So that's curious that the drivetrain control module has no codes in it, which could account for if it's taken down this CAN high speed. So I'm going to get a topology map, like a real one, from the wiring diagram. Wow. I'm not sure that the BCM might be the integrated power module on this thing. I'm not sure if it's got an actual BCM, but we have to look at how the network is designed. So let's pull up a wiring diagram. Well, it's interesting. I got a clean battery charger on this thing now, and I've got the key in the run position, and you can see the wipers have come on. So I've printed off the wiring diagrams. I'm going to try and do a network rescan here. I'm going to try clearing the codes first of all. Let's see what it does now. Because whatever is acting up right now. The wipers are running on low speed. I think the problem's on the interior high-speed CAN. The BCM is the gateway, and the BCM is got both networks, the CAN C and interior high-speed CAN. I haven't checked terminating resistance on interior high-speed CAN, but I might have to find the star connectors. So there's 2 star connectors for interior high-speed CAN, and you can see all of these modules down here on this page and on the last page are on interior high-speed. Now there's blind spot detection modules potentially, and usually those are problematic at best. So we got no communication with all of these grayed out modules. We got communication with the radio, HVAC amp. So is the problem with the BCM? I'm going to check terminating resistance. The wipers just stopped. Let's try clearing the DTCs again. Let's see if we get communication again. That's funny, as soon as I hit scan, the wiper started running again. So that PCM is on the high-speed CAN C. Something's taking down the BCM by the looks of it. Because all of these grayed out modules were talking initially when I drove it in the shop this morning. I think we're going to find, I'm going to put a breakout box on and have a look at the network activity on a lab scope. Well, it's not acting up right now, and we got a picture perfect CAN bus signal. I should reverse those 2 leads. But the wipers have stopped running on their own, and they're working properly if I turn them on. And the headlights are working. Oh boy. Where to start? I wonder if I should check terminating resistance. But I should really do it at the star connector. I'm going to have to see if I can locate those things. I think they're down here underneath the dash. So I stand corrected. That's interior high-speed CAN. It goes to pin 3 and 11 at the DLC to the interior high-speed CAN, and the 6 and 14 is is labeled on the BCM on the diagram, interior high speed, but it's got to be CAN C because it's a lot higher speed. I'll switch it over. So you can see the packets are a lot tighter, but it's not acting up now. I'm going to check for case histories. So I got 4 channels set up. You can see the interior high-speed CAN on the top in red and blue, and the CAN C powertrain CAN in the green and yellow on the bottom traces. And it's not acting up now. It's picture perfect. So I'm not sure which one of the 2 networks is going down. I'm going to try to scan it now again. So I'm going to try another smart scan. See, now we got 15 codes in the PCM. And we got communication with those modules again. Where's the blind spot detection modules? I wonder if this actually has it. Lost communication with occupant restraint controller. U0001 CAN C performance. So that makes sense. This topology map is not accurate, because this is the interior stuff by the looks of it. Of course, the BCM is the gateway, so it's on both networks. Well, I'm doing a keyword search for case histories on this. So the left blind spot sensor and the right blind spot sensor didn't report. So I'm not sure, but you know, why would the wipers come on? That the wipers are between the BCM and the front control module, if it has one. Integrated center stack, intrusion transceiver module, power liftgate module. What is V? Last row screen. What did that say? Last row scream. What is a scream? Is that a typo? External disk module probably doesn't have that. Second row screen. Yeah, that was a typo on that. I got to find out if this thing is supposed to have these blind spot modules, because if they're offline, they could be taking down the interior high-speed CAN, which might be affecting the BCM and therefore the communication with the high-speed CAN bus. But again, I'm going to look up some case histories. Sorry, my Identifix, and I did a keyword search for U0001. And I'm looking at some cases here, and one of them mentions right front headlight. Right front headlight is on the CAN bus. Why is it on the CAN bus? Because it can be. So here is the right front headlight down at the bottom here. Front headlamp. Right front lamp assembly, and then it's LIN bus to the left front. I do see that it's got modified headlights. I'm looking for evidence of vehicle collision, but it says it only has that with premium lights. And I don't think it's got premium lights, because I think they put LED conversions in it. I don't think you'd be able to do that with premium lights. I wish that Chrysler had a list of RPO codes on the vehicle. I may phone my friend at the dealership and ask him. But I've been running it now for a half an hour. I've got it running and it's got the typical Hemi tick, but it hasn't missed a beat. I'm recording the interior high-speed CAN and the CAN C bus signals. And they're textbook perfect. Now I did find the couple of star connectors. The green one I think is interior and the white one I think is CAN, but interior high speed, but I don't know for sure. I can go by the colors of the wires there. The bottom one there is black, yellow, green, and white. The one end of it has a ground on it, and they have terminating resistors in those star cans. It could even be one of those stars that's going down. So that is the star CAN C IP connector. The green one is the IP connector. The white one in there is interior high-speed connector. I've got the yellow dark green wire twisted pair out, and I've got a tire pressure sensor fault code now. I'm sure I have no communication with it. It hasn't acted up again. I got to catch it in the act to figure out which one of these modules is taking down the bus. Now I could be looking at disconnecting this and it would take all of these offline, but I got to look at how it's wired. So here is the connector I'm at, connector 1 with the 3 wires in it. It shows the ground separately over here as pin 3. If you disconnect that, you take all of these modules off the network. Let's see, which modules would you take off the network? Air suspension, I don't believe it has. Powertrain, you take the PCM offline. Why is there 2 PCMs? One's with a different option. Transmission controller. Yeah, you'd take all those modules offline. Drivetrain control module, power steering control module, headlamp right. We should actually find this other star connector. It's probably behind the passenger side of the dash. This connector star CAN C. We could have made these things a little bit more convenient to get to. I wonder if we have, I don't think we have the premium headlights. I gotta find this other star connector. I wish it would act up again for me while I got the lab scope on it so I could watch the network go for a crap. So I'm under the passenger side of the dash looking for the dash star connector and I don't see it. BCM's over in that corner over there. But I've got everything shut off in the vehicle. I got the door latches tripped so it thinks the door is closed, and there's something clicking like a circuit breaker tripping. There. There. I think it's under this passenger seat. Happens every minute or so. I did it again. So when I got in the passenger side, the seat was all the way forward for some reason. Now that I've moved it back, that click has stopped. But I see this switch is broken in here or something. But I'm watching the network, and although the seat is live, moving the seat doesn't wake up the network. Oh, brother. I'm going to purposely hold this seat switch. You can hear this seat motor, circuit breaker tripping, unless one of these switches was stuck. He's not complaining about the battery going dead, because theoretically that would kill the battery. I'm going to listen to it for a few seconds, see if it keeps going. So I'm not sure if that seat switch was stuck and that was one of the circuit breakers in the seat that was tripping. I don't know if the camera picked it up, but I could hear it because it's dead silent in my shop. But it stopped now that I moved the seat. So maybe that broken switch was activating one of the seat motors and it was already at the bottom of its travel or something. But that's not my issue. I'm sure of it. So I've unplugged this 3-wire connector from the interior high-speed CAN, and that doesn't simulate the problem. But if I disconnect this connector on this CAN C plug, then the wipers come on, the radiator cooling fan runs. I didn't try it running, I tried it with the key on. So I'm going to disconnect this connector, the 3-wire one that splits the network in half. You have to push in on this and then pry it out. I still got communication to the DLC. There goes the wipers. The instrument cluster went dead. But that doesn't prove anything because I'm creating a problem. I need to have it act up while I'm driving it. And then I need to isolate which one of these pins, which one of these, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 modules on this star can, and I can't find the body one. I went on the Stellantis website, the Fiat Chrysler website, Tech Authority, and they have shit for diagrams. So according to this picture, this is the CAN bus layout. It is CSC- and CSC IP. And I don't see those acronyms. CCIP is the closest one. That looks like that connector there. But that's such a pretty shitty diagram. What's wrong with digital photographs? CCIP and CC- might be the one. This one here. But where is that on the console? I've searched everywhere for it. So I believe I found it. It's right there inside the tunnel. Tie wrap to the harness.
Why couldn't they have a digital picture of where it's located? That's the green one. It has the white and blue, white and green and black 3-wire connector in C1. Let's see what goes off of that connector. So I reconnected that 3-wire connector on the CAN C body connector, and I did a network code clear, and now I'm going to disconnect that one and see which modules don't communicate. About 5 seconds after unplugging this 3-wire connector to the CAN body, the wipers come on. Let's see if we got communication with the PCM. Doesn't appear to be. Understand it can be any one of these modules on this network, including the BCM and including wiring to it, and it could also be the star connectors. I still got network activity at the DLC. Lots of modules on that network. It's too bad this topology map wasn't an actual true image of the topology in the vehicle. So I know the tire pressure monitor is on the other IP connector. Steering column control module. That's electronic shifter module, I believe. I'll pick up when we get to the end of this. Well, that's pretty inconclusive. I don't have communication with the BCM. I guess not. So that must be on the inlet side. Let me look at that wiring diagram again. So the damn network won't quit right now. I was going to disconnect modules that are not important, but there's not very many modules that aren't important. Power steering or steering control module, steering column control module, instrument cluster, shifter, wireless compartment node. Could disconnect the TPMS and the ABS. But if it would die and get it over with and stay dead, I could isolate it by disconnecting these connectors one at a time. It could also be one of these star connectors. I've got a link to a video that I found from a reputable tech. Spent hours diagnosing one of these that, well, it was a RAM, but same idea. Have to drive it for 33 miles and then it would act up. This did it to me twice, but the 2 times it did it, I didn't have the lab scope on the network to look at it to see if it was CAN high or CAN low that was compromised and how it was compromised. Case histories aren't much help. So I'm going to call it a quits for tonight and do some research.